さん、パン。
パン。
こっちに。
いきまーす。
はい。今日はですね、なんと、コソボ共和国に来ております。僕ね、知らなかったんですよね。ちょっとね、西新橋にコソボ大使館があるってね、びっくりしちゃって。こんなところに、もうコソボってみんな知ってます？実はね、今日僕一人じゃないんですよ。いろいろいてね、実は僕こう見えて、先生なんです。
はい、始まりました。虎ノ門食べ比べチャンネル。
はい、こんにちは、進行のエリナです。
英語担当のアスカです。
この動画では私たち文化服装学院に通うファッションビジネス学生と在日外国人のゲストさんが自国のファッションについてお話を伺ったり、母国の懐かしの食べ物を持ち寄り、日本食と食べ比べをしながらゲストさんたちと個人の日本や母国の生活などさまざまなお話をしていく人間交流型トーク番組です。
いきます。この番組は各国の大使館に囲まれる東京虎ノ門の街をプロモーションするべく、企画されました。ということで、本日は虎ノ門エリアの PR キャラクターカモトラ方にもお越しいただきました。
お
願いします。よろしくお願いします。
でかい。
怖い。
すごいね。今日だからね、皆さん、授業の一環ということで、はい、私先生ですから。はい。でもちょっとね、僕があんまり映りすぎても良くないと思う。ここから僕全部モザイク。
モザイク。
はい。もう二人にお任せする形ですかね。
はい。
はい。
はい、ようこそ。はい、どうぞ。ようこそ。こんにちは。
はい、ということで本日お世話になるエリスさんとアルワーさんと強くの花さんになります。よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
Thank you very much for visiting our embassy, and we are happy to host you today, although it's raining outside. My name is Emil Jamali. I'm currently the Chargé d'Affaires ad interim of the Embassy of the Republic of Kosovo in Tokyo.
Hello, as my colleague said, thank you and welcome for visiting Kosovo Embassy. My name is Arthur Mike, and I'm First Secretary of the Embassy.
お願いします。
お越しいただきありがとうございます。大使館職員の原と申します。本日は通訳を担当させていただきます。よろしくお願いいたします。
お願いします。So at first, could you teach us some Slovenian language? Because we want to use it for today.
Sure.
How can we say hi in Albanian?
So there are many ways to say hi in Albanian. I will give you the Kosovo version of the hi, which is tung, which means it's a shorter version of tunjatjeta, which means live long.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, so tung. Yeah, and you can say it also for goodbye by repeating it twice. Tung tung, tung tung tung. Tung is for hello, tung tung is goodbye.
How can we say thank you in Albanian?
So, thank you in Albanian. It's faleminderit.
Oh, it's
Faleminderit. It's like arigato gozaimasu. Faleminderit. Faleminderit. Faleminderit.
アルバニア語のありがとうはパレミンデーリと単語で言うと、
これ使います。So, could you introduce about brief information about Kosovo Republic?
Sure. So Kosovo is in the center of the Western Balkans in Europe, which is a geostrategic position surrounded by European Union member states. Its population is 2 million people, which means majority are Albanians. Then you have Serbs, then Turkish, Roma. 10% of the population is under 35 years old. So Kosovo is the youngest country in Europe. And because we declared the independence in 2008, we are also the newest country in Europe. So we are both the youngest and the newest country in Europe. The size of Kosovo is similar to Gifu or Akita prefectures of Japan. The weather is like Fukushima. Yes.
It's like colder.
Yes, a little bit colder than here. Yes. And so we declared the independence in 2008, and we are the youngest and newest country in Europe. We are a multi-ethnic nation, and so the young people have played a very important role in the history of Kosovo, including in the field of fashion design, music, culture, and especially women, girls of Kosovo. And regarding languages, as you can see behind, Albanian and Serbian languages are the two official languages, while English is also institutional language. And if you can see in our flag here, the stars, they all represent each community living in Kosovo.
I see.
So 6 communities, all the same, multi-ethnic. And they are white because we live in peace and harmony. And the blue background is our aspirations to become soon a EU member state and a NATO member, Euro-Atlantic institutions. And the Kosovo map in the middle represents the country, and the golden color of our country represents the natural resources. We are rich in natural resources, including gold and zinc.
We want to have more information about Kosovo. So,
Sure.
yeah, if we trip to Kosovo, where do you recommend to visit?
Oh, that's. Are you sure you have enough time for that?
Tell me the number one.
Number one.
Could you choose that?
Yes, I can tell you number 1, number 2, and number 3. So number 1, the city of Prizren is the cultural capital of Kosovo, cultural and historical capital of Kosovo. So in there you can find a lot of religious cultural heritage, historical cultural heritage. And so because Kosovo is located in the center of the Balkan Peninsula, and because during times, first it was the Roman Empire, then Byzantine Empire, and then the Ottoman Empire, and then the latest developments in the last 100 years, then there is a lot of rich history in this place. So mixture of this 3 different times. And of course, food is so delicious. So that's number 1. And I forgot to mention, in Prizren is the one of the biggest and most successful international short film festival called DocuFest, organized every year in August, which I would also invite you to come and see that festival. Second thing I would mention is Pristina. If it's the capital of let's say fashion and the capital of nightlife. A lot of international singers, including Dua Lipa, Rita Ora, Irai Strepi, they are all, by the way, Kosovars who then migrated to UK as refugees and became very famous internationally. And they also had concerts in Tokyo, as you know. So Pristina is the nightlife, like if you want to go for the nightlife music, and so Pristina is the place. But of course it has also a lot of traditional surrounding and traditional touristic attractions and mountains, and yeah. And the third I would also recommend is, as a city, is Peja city, with wonderful gorges and mountains, and you can go there for hiking. There are also a lot of hiking trails, Via Ferrata. You can do zip line there as well. And during the winter you can go skiing, and there are ski resorts. So that's the one area I would also recommend as number 3 to visit in Kosovo. So it takes only 45 minutes to go to Prizren from Pristina, the capital city, and maybe 1 hour to Peja. So we are talking about very short period of time to reach these places.
Sounds great to visit. I've never been to a European country actually. So,
Oh.
yeah, it sounds like easier to go for the first time.
It's true. It's true. Actually, if you come to Kosovo, you can also visit Albania. It's 2.5 hours drive, 3 hours drive. Then you can also visit Kita Macedonia, which is like 1 hour drive. It's so close. And then you can visit Greece. You can visit Bulgaria, Montenegro. So you can visit all these countries. Yes. And Croatia as well. It's very close. Yes. So many countries.
どこ一番行ってみたいですか？ Where do you want to go the best? Where?
この首都に行ってみたいです。
Nightlife?
Is that like Shibuya or like?
Kind of, right? Yeah,
Right.
it's a mixture, but it's smaller, of course,
Youngstown.
a smaller version. But I mean, it's becoming very famous. A lot of people from around the region are coming to party. So I'm talking about before COVID.
You want to hear a joke? actually, Kosovo and the region is very famous for lots of comedian and many jokes. Like, sometimes we use jokes and even if we friends and between colleagues at work. So one of the most famous comedian groups in Kosovo that comes to my mind is it's a group of 2 or 3 guys actually. It's called Stupsa, and they are famous and very popular in Kosovo because their act it's related to the daily life of Kosovo people. So they express our routine, our daily life in a way that it's funny and interesting to watch. I think I know many jokes, but maybe another time.
But if I can add, even before the war, in like up like 85, 86, there were also other comedians who were making I mean, that was the only fun part of that time, because we had the war, and they were trying to keep the spirit of having fun alive among the Kosovars, Albanians in Kosovo. And I may say, your comedians are probably, you have more comedians aside. I see more comedians, I see more mascots, and I see more funny parts in Japan, I think, than anywhere else in the world, I think. Because you are that's very good, because that's how you keep your happiness and fun, and so I really enjoy it when I live here, yes.
Do you have any favorite comedian in Japan?
I'm not good with names, but I know many comedians.
Oh.
And I know they're very famous and popular in Japan. And I know I have TV and I watch sometimes the comedian talent show in a few Japanese TV. And I know there are lots of, there are many talents of for comedy and sarcasm.
Yeah.
I personally don't have a TV in my home. So I'm sorry, but I don't know. But I know a Japanese song in Japanese. It's called Kaeri no Itaka Kikoete Kiru yo.
Where did you know
Gua,
that?
gua, 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 ge, 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 gua, gua, gua. So I know that because, in 99, Kosovo was a war. The war finished in 99, and the Japanese came to Kosovo to help us. And I was a child, I was only 14 years old. And a group of Japanese was teaching, I was the only person in that group speaking English, and they were teaching even younger people different kind of jokes or games. So I still remember that from that time, that I was a young child, let's say, and I remember from the wartime, and Japanese came to help us. And to be quite frank and sincerely, we are forever grateful to Japan for supporting us during the wartime and after the wartime, and recently also during COVID time. So, I mean, we are from that generation, from the war generation, and we went through the war, and so, yeah. I was not prepared about these comedians. Yes, by surprise. I forgot to mention Kento. He has good jokes. Wow. But don't hire him yet. He wants to sleep.
This is the end of the third one. Yeah, third story. Thank you so much.